Good morning, good morning. God, the powers that are crap internet today. You can tell people are logging on from school. So just a disclaimer. Myself and my guest today, we do struggle with a bit bad internet, shall we say. It's UW. Right, so what was I going to say? Completely lost my train of thought there. Good morning. It's me, Calvin K from Kwak Talks. You're watching Kwak TV because why watch crap TV when you can watch Kwak TV? And the reason my brain's a bit like that is because today's guest can't speak at all. I'm excited for because it's just going to be carnage. It's just going to be absolute carnage. So, how are we? It is Thursday. We've nearly finished another week. And that's, to me, that's just crazy. Like, I'm quite sad. I Googled how many weeks the average person lives. How many lives the average person lives? That'd be cool to know, wouldn't it? How many weeks the average person lives? And I based it on an 80-year life. And it turned out it was like 4,000 and something. I was like, oh, right. Well, how many weeks have I lived so far? Real positive note for the morning, guys. And then I found out that I'd lived for like 1,000 and something. I was like, oh my Christ. Like, that's a lot of weeks. Like a real lot of weeks. But then it really gave me the realization of all I have to do for me is every week, what have I done this 1 week to make it count? What have I done this week to make it count? And it doesn't have to be something steep. It could be cooking a nice meal. You know, it can be anything. But what have I done this week to make it count? And what have you done so far this week to make it count? If you haven't done anything yet, you've got today and another 3 days to make this week count. That's what matters. But first of all, good morning, Mr. Andrew Porteous, the Hyperlights community themselves, educating, helping people's health, selling candles, the whole shebang. Good morning, Mr. Ernie. It is weapons internet. I don't know what that means, but good morning, Ernie. We'll just go with that one. Morning, Cara. Morning. I'm sure I'll be saying this again in a minute as well. Good morning, Mr. Baum. Good morning from Bushy. That's what I like. It's a quack internet. I like that one, Ernie. I like that one. Good morning, Becky Cooper. Is it me or does that just remind you of what to call it? You know, it's just that Cooper. I love it. That program with Catherine Tate. Love it. So, honestly, I cannot wait today. I'm a bit hyped. We got on a bit early because we was having a real good natter. So I'm not going to witter on too much. I'm going to do my normal spiel. I'm just going to get my guest on. And today, I will tell you before you rush off that we're pretty much talking about the pet peeves and things that bother us and bug us as young entrepreneurs or young business owners, air quote, because I know the guests don't like young entrepreneurs, right? And it's just things that we have to encounter day in, day out, either it be our age or people seeing the fact that we're young business owners. So I really can't wait to talk about that today because it's something that I massively talk about a lot, which is to do with age. And I feel like we shouldn't have to talk about it, but we'll get into that later. So, as we know, every day on the show, I go through different days of the year to give us a little bit of social media inspiration. So, yes, the days of the year. Every day of the year has a different theme. And today is Thank Your Postman Day. It technically says Thank a Letter Carrier Day, but to me, that's a postman. So, thank you, postman, if you get a chance today. Socially distance, of course. It is also Sweater Day or Jumper Day. Not meaning get sweaty, no. Sweater and Jumper Day. It's also, oh, sorry, guest, because I know you don't like them. It is also Stuffed Mushroom Day. Practically thrown up backstage. It's also Homemade Soup Day. Oh, I had soup yesterday. And it's also Wild Cancer Day. So it is also Wild Cancer Day as well. But it's, what else have we got? Good morning, Kirsty Hall. Swishy bothered. Oh, I love it, honestly. I love it. Lauren Cooper. I'm bothered there. Sorry. Right, so that's every time what I imagine just when I see Becky Cooper just pop up, just straight away, Catherine Tate. So, Christ, we've got plenty of people on this morning. If you are just tuning in, make sure you say good morning to me. Make sure you tell me who you are, what you're doing, what you're drinking. I've nearly finished my fresh coffee this morning. So, God, good morning, Mr. Rob Lee. I can't press the buttons frigging fast enough. I don't know what this guest's done, but it's like people actually want to watch the show. Love it. Boring, innit? Yeah, it is. But this show definitely isn't going to be. So, with no further ado, I'm not going to waffle on. I'll tell you what. I'll quickly do these. I won't going to do them. Twitter hashtags. Have you got your pens ready? Good. Thursday morning, Thursday thoughts, Thursday vibes. And that's it. So your hashtags for Twitter today. Thursday morning, Thursday thoughts, and Thursday vibes. Did I say them fast enough? Yeah, good. So, fizz stick. Yes, Andrew. That's what you are drinking this morning. Good old fizz stick. Is it strawberry, citrus, pomegranate? Which one is it? Ginseng? I know you can get all these different varieties. So this morning, this guest, so me and this person have only known each other since pretty much beginning of the good old thing going on in the world called a pandemic, right? So we've met in March, never met before. We've only met in person once, and we ended up in a Morrison's cafe because it's the only thing we could get in when Eat Out to Help Out was about. Frank's and Benny's was booked. And honestly, we absolutely hit it off. And it's like we're brother and sister, which is weird because I swear she's trying to turn me. So it's this goes on YouTube. Why did I just say that? So it's honestly, I really, really can't wait to get them on. So before I say some good mornings again, because we will go through them so the guests can say good morning again as well. Let me get my buttons ready. Good morning, Cara.
Morning.
Morning. Morning. You all right, love?
Yeah, I was just thinking as you're going through the Thursday hashtags, mine is hashtag Thursday really sore wisdom tooth.
Oh, Christ. Right, so we've had some more good mornings. So, Carrie, you're going to say good morning to the following people.
Okay.
Good morning to David.
Good morning, David.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
We've got a Cooper.
Good morning, Cooper.
We've got Kirsty Hall.
Okay. Good morning, Kirsty Hall.
Can you do really shit French? Sweet, she bothered. Love it, sorry. Got Rob Lee.
What?
Yeah, what? We've got Rob.
Good morning, Rob.
We've got Chelsea.
Good morning, Chelsea.
We've got Facebook user. I don't know who Facebook user is. Facebook, you need to click the link at the top or at the bottom, or if you can't do that, just drop your name and tell me who you are. We've also got Mama Wood.
Good morning, Mummy.
Apparently it looks like I'm drinking out of a jam jar.
He probably is.
I am, but I prefer drinking out of a jam jar when it's in a cocktail bar and there's a very nice strawberry daiquiri in it. We've also got, this is why it's so busy. Cara is on. You see. We've also got David saying morning to you. We've got Aquila / Ash Hope.
Morning.
We've got Dom Fenton, the Activity Connector. Honestly, and it might be Mark James. Thank you very much, Andrew. That's who Facebook user might be. So, Cara, just in case all these people jumping on don't know who you are and what you do, who are you and what do you do?
I am Cara, also with a K look. Oh, how do you? There we go. Did you just notice that?
Yeah, I did.
So I run an accountancy practice with my mummy because living with my mum full time was not enough. I needed to work with her too. And I also run an Actilabs business, which you can see on my face this morning to hide the fact I've not slept since 2010.
I ain't slept. Oh, can we just say good morning to Mama Quackers?
Good morning, Mama Quackers.
And my fabulous nephew, Grayson. Grayson is also watching.
And nephew Quackers. I was going to say nephew
Quackers. Yeah, nephew Quackers. We can go with that. Nephew Quackers. So just a warning, mother. The odd bit of language may slip out. I don't mind saying that. So it's everyone. I am a mummy's boy. There you go.
Yeah, it's warning his mum, not mine. My mum's used to.
Yeah, I'm not warning mother. I'm not warning Mama. So, how have you been? How's January been for a bookkeeper and an accountant?
Oh my God, honestly, I never knew that you could hate a month so much until I went into accounting. I'm like, oh my God, so this is what people who hate Mondays feel like. Every day.
Like, oh, love it. Absolutely love it. That's great. But no, so it's have you seen, obviously, a lot of people now have started their own businesses, obviously last year, beginning of this year. Have you seen an influx in a lot of new customers?
Yeah, so we actually, I mean, I know my mum won't mind me saying this, but compared to last year, so January 2020, my dog's going mental. I don't know if you can.
All right, don't worry.
That's good. That means I know she's still in the house and not got out the cat flap. So in January 21, we invoiced £4,000 more than we did January 2020. And we did a lot of self-assessments throughout last year. So that was like incredible for us. So yeah, it's been a busy but good time. I won't lie.
And you've worked with and work with, you know, people from like McDonald's all the way down to like multi-level marketers. Like these are on your website, so now I can say these. But, like, you have worked all the way from, you know, with and from McDonald's all the way down to multi-level marketers. You literally cover such an array of people. It's unreal, don't you? Like,
yeah, it's a bit surreal, really. Like, never did I imagine going into, you know, growing up, I never imagined I would work with my mum having McDonald's as a client. Like, I never imagined that. I'm a massive McDonald's fan, so I was like proper fangirling when mum was like, oh, by the way, we're going to do management accounts for McDonald's. I'm sorry, what? 3 nuggets every month? Yes.
Yes. I get a 40 nugget share box. I don't get 20. Like, love it. Oh, we've also got Gary Jones jumping on. Good morning, Gary. And Andrew Portis is a new client as well. I think many people know this.
He is indeed.
I believe you love Andrew's spreadsheets, don't you?
I do. Oh my God, honestly, the amount of bookkeepers and accountants that hate spreadsheets, and then Andrew comes up and I'm like, not that I'm going to let anyone take Andrew, but his spreadsheet, like he's the dream client. Like his spreadsheet is just gorgeous. Anyway, that's enough fangirling over Andrew and his spreadsheet.
So if anyone wants to learn how to manage spreadsheets, chat to Andrew.
Yes, please.
So our topic of conversation for today is quite literally what we are, young business owners. And a lot of people at first didn't realise you are a director at Phoenix BA with your mum. You are, right? You
shareholder.
No, but you are. You're one of the bosses. You're one of the bosses at Phoenix BA. And it really is important that a lot of people realise this and going, oh yeah, but you work with someone. It's like, no, I'm the boss. Like, there's just me, myself and I. Like, this is...
Yeah.
What do you encounter from like time to time with being a young business? Do you think people maybe see your age first, or what? This is going to be a long list.
Yeah. How long does the show normally run for?
We can go over. I don't mind.
So I didn't really notice it until I started networking. Yeah. I am a massive advocate for networking. As everyone knows, I live and breathe networking, but I didn't realise that there was as much prejudice, maybe is the right word, for young people in business, because people don't expect that at 20 you could be running your own business. People think, when I said that I was in network marketing, people understood that, people expected that, they got it, they appreciated it, they didn't say a word. When I say, well, actually, I run, manage an accountancy practice, they're like, what? Yeah. Are you sure? Are you lying? Yeah. No, you can look on Company's House, it's real.
Honestly, and it really is. And do you know what? I think a lot of this stems from, this is one really big thing that I'm talking a lot about at the moment. I'm trying to make sure I don't go too deep into one side of it because I don't know if I can. It's you don't get educated about self-employment at school.
No.
You don't. In school or college or even university, even when you and I've spoken, as a guest lecturer in like business courses at universities, and just shameless plug. Book me. Hashtag hire me. So it's and I have, but the one thing they don't talk about is self-employment. Yeah. And this is such a big thing for me because I understand that they want parents, if anything, want to understand that their child's been educated on a secure, normal 9 to 5 job. And for me, I'm like, but a lot of people, I hate being told what to do, right?
Yeah.
Hate it, absolutely hate it. And actually, my mum, if she is still watching, my mum has always said, you will always work for yourself. She's like, you will always work for yourself because you hate people telling you what to do. He's like, technically, everyone hates the mum telling them what to do, but I ain't got a choice because I'm the quiet one in the family. So it's yeah, exactly. But no, so it's I absolutely hate it. So when it came to it, and I was starting to start dabbling because it was in self-employment, it was so important. When I was like, I love this, and I even said to my partner last night, Mr. Quackers, that I was like, I finish, and I'm like, what have I got tomorrow? Oh, I've got work again. Because I love what I do. But like, you just don't get educated on self-employment. And do you think that obviously people should be educated on it more, knowing that it is an option for people to do, obviously?
I think so, especially given this whole pandemic thing. Like yesterday, my sister was on the phone to the careers advisor at the school. She's just put her application in for college. And not once do they say, do you want to be self-employed? Shall we look at college courses that might aid you in self-employment? It's what job are you going to go and get? I guess I'm going to be a maths teacher.
Yeah.
So not once has anyone said, would you, is starting your own business something you're considering? Would you like some support in that avenue. So I would like to think, with the fact a lot more people have gone self-employed in the last year, I think at some point it could be a possibility where there is some form of have your own business taught at school or college.
Well, I really hope there is, because I always use the example of someone that possibly does like GCSE English or, you know, A-level English. And most of the time, from my, you know, in my head, when I've asked people that I've studied, I'm like, well, what do you want to do? And they go, oh, well, I'll be an English teacher. And I'm like, you're doing it. There's also jobs like a copywriter, a content writer. And then when I have told your person this, they've gone, well, what's a copywriter? I'm like, one great example is you can get paid to write people's CVs. And they're like, oh, I'm like, you can get paid to just write a 500-word blog. I'm like, really? Like, yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. You can get paid for it. Tell you what, let's look at some of these comments. We've got Chelsea White saying, for 2 years, I had to deal with people assuming my business was run by Ben, who is Chelsea's partner. Yeah. I used to get emails addressed to him with requests. Drove me nutty. Yes. Yep. We've also got, it's shocking how much it isn't talked about. Exception to the rule, my uni taught self-employment and didn't shy away from it. See, that's good. This is what like we're saying is like, we hope people are starting to go down that route to talk about it. But a lot of schools fail to mention young enterprise schemes. It's scary. Yeah, completely agree with you, Andrew. Completely agree with you. But so obviously we touched on it like age, and I am probably going to use a lot of air quotes, is you know, I get it a lot because with me being a business coach, and you'll get it with being an accountant, you know, people go, what, you want to do my accounts? How long have you been doing accounts for? Like 2 months. And it's like, no, it doesn't matter if I've been doing them for 2 months. The reason I can do your accounts is because I'm qualified, and you're also qualifying. I know you're doing more work to do your accounts. Do you get that a bit like, okay, like?
Yeah, so people always ask for proof. They want to know how long I've been doing it. Like my biggest pet peeve about doing this is because I'm doing my CMA at the moment. Yeah. I'm not like chartered. I'm not this, that, and other. Like, you know, I'm not fancy. And the amount of people that will say to me, I want a qualified chartered accountant to answer my question. I'm like, right, okay. So I send them to mum. Mum will tell me what the question was. I will answer it. And mum will be like, yep. It happens so much. And I'm just like, I may be 22. I may not look the smartest, but I know more than you think.
There's something in here. Like, there is something in there.
I've had a lot of brain scans. I promise there's one there.
But I get it with being a coach. You know, it's one of the main things that I get asked. And a lot, my immediate response in my head is if someone asks me that, like, why should I work with you? You know, you're quite young. Not in like they're not meaning it in a sarcastic way. Like, why should I work with you? Obviously, you're quite young. You don't have many years experience behind you. Just to point out, I own 4 retail businesses, people. So they're like, you haven't got that behind you. And in my head, I'm like, well, obviously you're not the client for me. Yeah. Because if you're the client for me, you wouldn't ask that. You wouldn't see that. If anything, you go, where's your receipts? Where's your credentials? Show me. You know, show me why you can be a business coach, which is why I also say mentor, because the reason I'm mentor is because, like me and you know, I've had to self-educate myself because there's no one above me. There's no manager above me to teach me. No. You know, I've had to learn it all myself. And it is one of them questions where people go, yeah, but we rage. I'm like, spend an hour with me. Spend an hour with me. And it's like, let's talk accounts for an hour. Let's talk about them. And it's always like, oh, okay. And for me, that's also a bold statement because I know they will leave away with something.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, obviously I don't know everything. I am still learning. Not once have I, and this is what amuses me, like not once have I ever claimed to know the ins and outs of everything. I've always been completely open and honest. Like, I am training, I am learning. If I don't know, I let people know that I don't know. I don't know, but I'll find out. Shut up. And people just don't appreciate that.
No, you're completely right. And it's it just is, and it is so frustrating because it's like, do you know what? You're that person shooting themselves in the foot because actually there's help here. Yeah. And there's the phrase, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Well, for me, I've asked them and I say, no, there's no such thing as a stupid question, but there are questions that can make you feel stupid.
Yeah, I'm good at asking them.
Yeah. But they need to be asked. And that's why we're also good at what we do. You know, when people say an expert is someone that's made all the mistakes in the field. For me, it's also someone that's asked all the, once again, air quotes, stupid questions.
Yeah.
It is. And it's someone that I remember when I was on an entrepreneur's course, I say this all the time. And the guy was talking about capital. And no, it wasn't the radio station. And I'm sat there and I'm like, don't know what he's on about. So I went, hey, and he went, oh, I was like, what's capital? Everyone on this entrepreneur's course, like 50 people, just went. And he went, oh, it's like money, a little bit different. I'll come over in a moment and explain it in a little bit more detail. I was like, okay, thank you. I said, I know what you're on about now. Tanya and Rebecca, who was sat next to me, both went, thank God you asked that, because we didn't have a clue. But once again, I felt stupid asking the question, but it wasn't a stupid question, because it's also people say, if you've thought of the question, other people also have.
Well, definitely.
So, exactly. Oh, we've got more. Matt James saying you don't have to look smart.
Good, no. Because I don't know how to. I stick my glasses on and up for best.
Much rather work with someone who knows they don't know everything. Exactly, Mark. Exactly that. We've got Kirsty Hall saying, it really annoys me that people look down to you because you are young and don't know what you are doing. I find it hard to keep my mouth shut. So do we. When people say it, because I find it so offensive, especially when I've worked so hard to get to where I am. Don't be offended by it. That's my person. Don't be offended by it. You know, show them, or sometimes you don't even have to waste your time. That's what I'm saying. If I have to explain that to them, they're not my type of client, because I shouldn't have to explain my worth to someone. I shouldn't have to explain my value to someone. I don't mind showing it. I don't mind showing my worth and my value. I shouldn't have to explain it. That's completely different. So, Cara, why do you hate the term young entrepreneur?
Oh, it just makes me queasy. I don't know what it is. It's just the word entrepreneur. Like I can't even say it without feeling uncomfortable. I don't know what it is. I just see the word and it makes me gag. I just don't like it. I don't know. I feel like it's.
Do you think there's a lot of stigma behind it?
Yes and no, maybe. Like there's someone that I know. I won't go into too much detail about their business, because then they'll know it's them and they'll know that I don't like them. But they started a business while they were at school, and shocker, Cara doesn't like someone. They started a business while they were at school, and because they were so young when they started it, obviously they did all this young entrepreneurs thing, and they did these awards and stuff like that, and it made them extremely cocky. Extremely cocky because of all, and it's just they constantly use this, you know, oh, I've won this young entrepreneurs award, I've done this, I've done that, I'm this young entrepreneur, I'm entrepreneur 2018, whatever crap. And I think because of that experience, it's just really put me off.
Do you know what? Don't get me wrong. I personally would like to have some of their achievements, because I would like, you know, I would like them, but I wouldn't like.
So you won't be cocky with them?
No, I wouldn't be cocky, because I'm like, if you're going to be cocky with them, does it mean that when you send an invoice to someone, you put a surcharge on because you've won this award?
Probably. There's a lot of people that do that, but it's like at the end of the day, it's just an award. Yeah. Like it's a piece of paper, it's a piece of card if it's a fancy one. You might even get a trophy, but don't let it get to your head. And I think that's where this whole entrepreneur thing has bothered me.
I personally don't mind it. Not saying I like it, not saying I dislike it. I don't mind it.
In the middle somewhere.
For me, it's more if someone puts that term into brackets, into air quotes, that it can be spun. And I think it's a lot of the time where the older generation, that don't, by the way, that's not me saying like 50 plus, that's like older than, I'm 25, Cara's 22, older, so 26 upwards. If they have the stigma of going, oh, well, you're just a young entrepreneur, aren't you? And it's like
condescending.
Yeah, it's like, no. Mum, cover Grayson's ears. I'm a fucking business owner. That's what I am. I'm a fucking business owner.
Like, but that's the thing, like, no one would call, you know, my mum is double my age. Yeah. No one would call my mum an entrepreneur. If my mum in her 40s can be a business owner, why can't I be a business owner in my 20s?
Yeah.
It's that.
And it's like, that's why, like, when I said, like, I own 4 retail businesses, do people know that? Not really, because I don't massively speak about them because they're not my main business. Coaching and stuff is my main business. Quack is my main business. And it's just like, oh my God, your head's so far up your ass, you can taste your tonsils. Like, oh.
How has your business page just commented?
I don't know.
That's so creepy.
I've got a feeling that might be Chanel, my PA.
I hope.
I've got a feeling that might be Shan because she's got access to. Shan, is that you? Otherwise, not.
It's you. That's
I
so
like that both me and you both went. Wow. So yeah, that's. I really hope that's Shan. Okay, so to anyone, what we're on about is basically my business page.
Yeah, it
has
is.
just commented. Yeah, it's Chanel. It's Chanel. We're saying.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Oh, I love it. Right. I love the fact we both spotted that. This is, it's going to be carnage.
We knew this live was.
Yeah. But no, it's, so it's also, but don't get me wrong. So there is many terms. And I also think now it's how many other terms people have put with the word preneur, right? So you've got mumpreneur, social entrepreneur. Yeah. And it's like, basically Chanel in the bottom right of the comments, you just need to click the little drop down arrow and change it from my page name to your account. There you go. There's everyone's little Facebook tip if you end up posting on your account's behalf. So yeah, it's it really is. And I know Stacey Calder, for example, hates the phrase mumpreneur. I know she hates it. But I get it. At the same time, it's kind of like it's like people that have love, live, and laugh on the wall. Like, no offense to anyone that's got no offense. Take offense.
Yeah, I apologize for my eye roll.
Yeah. No, don't take offense. Like, if you're not living, if you're not loving, and you're not laughing, like, why do you need it on a wall? Like, that's complete different Kwak TV.
Yeah, that's a whole other live.
Love it. That's a complete podcast episode. But no, it's yeah, it is, and I think it's more if there's stigma behind it. To me, it doesn't bother me, you know, like you can win Young Entrepreneur Awards, there's Young Entrepreneur categories, but then at the same time, it bothers me because why does it have to be a separate category?
Yeah.
If we, you know, if this was touched on awards, why does it have to be a separate category? And it really, really, really bugs me. Why do you need a wall to tell you to be happy?
Exactly. Unless it's a wall with a load of wine racks in, that wall would tell you to be happy.
Other alcohol available. It's love it. So, do you know what? I've been talking ages. I love this. It really is such a bugbear, and I'm sure, like, you know, I've probably missed a couple of comments. Bear with me. Let me scroll up. Realistically,
yeah, Andrew told Mummy to cover her ears. I don't know if she's watching anymore. Realistically,
we have the same amount of experience as someone who spent 20 years being employed before they started in business. You know, I've got a point on that, Chelsea. Is I actually went to a face-to-face networking meeting, and I had one-to-one with someone. If you're in foreign, it was the old-fashioned one-to-ones, and I sat down and he went, "Can I ask you something? Please don't be offended." I was like, "Okay, normally that's going to go a year," and I'm like, "Really, Queen?" Like, and sorry, Cara, yes, I am. So it's and he went, "Why would I hire you as a business coach?" And it was one of the first times I did encounter that question. And he went, "Because I've been in business 30 years. I said, and I went, "Exactly that reason." I said, "You started your business 30 years ago. The game is a complete different board game. It's a complete different field." And I'm like, there's a, you know, real unpopular opinion, business plans are a load of bollocks. That's actually the first episode of my podcast when I launch it, by the way, people. Quackcast, keep an eye out. Both spelled with a K. And it's honestly a load of bollocks. And they're like, I say that to them, and they're like, "Well, no, they're not." And I'm like, "Well, did you plan for a global pandemic? Like, did you plan for that original idea, but then you end up doing something else because you realize that's going to make you more money? No, you didn't plan for that, did you? They're a load of bollocks." And I'm like, what us kids, right? What us kids, yeah, that's what get also called a lot, can do. That's not meaning Caroline, by the way, people. Oh, I'm clicking buttons. What us kids can, you know, do to an extent is we can add a new spanner. That people, you know, imagine your business is a machine. We're not adding a new cog. If your machine's working, you don't need a new cog adding some of the time. Some of the times you might do. And that can be an accountant, for example, in your field, that looks at where you're making money and then looks at where you're not making money. And most of the time I found it when people are not making money in one area, that's where they're focusing. And I'm like, why are you focusing on something that's not making you money? Like, it makes my mind blow. And I just said to them, I was like, we can add a spanner into your works. We can put a complete new brand spanking cog in your machine. We can do all them things. And that's what we can do because we've started business in a complete new era, a complete new generation with complete new things as our tools to run a business. Like, as an accountant, what would you say in your personal opinion, not even as Phoenix BA, what would you say you look at in people's businesses with new clients or anything like that? Is there anything you in particular look at? Like I do look at the people, what's not making this person money and are they focusing on it? Like,
well, the main thing that we look at really, oh sorry, me, not Phoenix, I look at, clearly not English. It's how can you make their accounts more tax effective? There's a lot of stuff that you can reclaim tax on that a lot of people don't know they can. You know, there was someone that came to us for their self-assessments last minute, and they went to us. We were a little bit more expensive, but we saved them more money because we knew what tax to look for, you know, like what they can reclaim back, what they can put in, and it's just that.
Okay, tell you what, because we end up going on tangents.
It's too early.
Would you say that I am going to use the term young business owners or younger business owners?
Fine.
Yeah. Would you say that younger business owners support each other enough?
I don't think so.
I don't either. That's plain and simple. I don't. And I know this is why you was looking at running like an 18 to like 30 or 32 networking group.
Yeah.
Not to separate us from anyone at all. It was actually to get us to work together more. Because I think a lot of the time we don't, you know, we don't. And why does it bother you so much, if anything, why we, you know, that we don't work together enough? What is it that you see or have seen or think we should do more? What is it?
Well, in my experience, I think some people around our age are possibly a bit too, I don't want to use the word naive, but I feel like some people our age are not ready for being business owners, so they don't really embrace the business.
The word's mature, love.
Yes, mature.
Yeah.
A little bit of naivety as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think some people are ready for businesses. I think some people just want to compete and they just want to make their business better than other people's. And I think just, I think if a lot of people came together and supported and realised it's not a competition, there's you know, a lot to learn, there's a lot of support we can all give.
Yeah. I say to people, like, for example, you know, I see other business coaches, either my age, older or whatever, and you see it with accounts and stuff, and I don't see people as competition. I see people as opportunities.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. For example, right, we've got Andrew Porteous on the call. We've got Chelsea White on the call. We've even got Mama Wood on the call, right? We've got a few other people, Mark James, Simon Clements, Don Fenton. Fair enough, none of these are business coaches. But, for example, like Andrew, Chelsea, and a few of them other people, not that much older, you know, and I'm like, what opportunities can I get with these people? Because I need to work with these people more.
Yeah.
And I also think do you know what, actually, fuck it, I'm going to say it. Sorry, Mum. We come from an arrogant society and an arrogant generation. And I'm not meaning that in people's personas, but it can be in a career. You think you're either too good for your position or you're better than the person above you, which isn't a bad thing. Yeah. You think your business is the best in the world. It isn't. There's always going to be someone bigger and better than you, but make sure what you do is good for what you do. You know, that's kind of the difference of it. We come from an arrogant background. Not me and you. We're just confident. But even that, like, that's a bit, we come from an arrogant thing. It's like, my business is the best. You know, open your eyes, love. No, it's fucking not. Like, it's not. There is going to be people bigger and better than you, but that's not a bad thing. And it's that thing of, you know, don't try and be the expert, don't try and copy the expert, or don't copy the expert, be the expert. And this is, good old dog.
Bella, come here.
Sorry. So it's, it really is. We do come from naive and arrogant generation, I think. And I think this is what holds a lot of us back. And one of the biggest factors of that, without a massive rant, I think, is social media. Oh,
God, yes.
It is.
Yeah, 100%. Like, obviously, as you know, I take regular social media breaks because it's the best and worst thing for us to have available. Yeah. And I think that's probably where a lot of issues do come in for younger people in businesses. You know, it's all new for them. And then they're seeing all these business owners all over Facebook, all these businesses that are doing really well. No one's going to put on Facebook that their business is like down 10 grand or whatever. And I think it just makes them feel like they've got a lot to live up to.
Yeah. And do you know what? I've even said this to yourself when you was in a different form of like MLM or network marketing stuff. And when, you know, in MLMs, multi-level marketing, network marketing, you do have targets to reach. You do have, you know, goals to get for. And don't be arrogant. And like, not to you, but I mean, in general, I've said to people, like, don't be arrogant. If you're £50 off your sale, say to people, I'm £50 off my sale and this can get me my next promotion. Don't be arrogant and be like, oh, I'm stubborn and be like, I ain't telling people that.
Yeah.
Why? Ask for fucking help. Like, this is why I pure blankly use the hashtag buy their shit. Like, I pure blankly say it. I'm like, so as soon as you said ActiLabs, I'm looking for this. I'm holding it. I'm like, buy her shit. Like, buy it. It's a hard field to be in, and we should be support. And that's me being like, support them. I'm supporting them. I'm saying buy it. I'm holding up as much crap as I can on a camera. Gonna run out of breath then. Support them and support each other. It is honestly one of my biggest bugbears. Like, from a generation that gets so much stigma from other generations, including even sometimes younger, you know, because it's just like, what are we doing? Support each other. Like, stop being a knob. I did warn you all that this was probably going to be carnage, raw, and pretty brutal. That is me and Cara in a nutshell. Yeah. But I've missed up some of these comments. Right, so we've had several people, you know, saying definitely not enough support. Shan, my PA, she's saying nope, no support. Some younger people see it as competition. Yes, Mama would. Exactly. God, you can tell you come from the same hymn sheet, can't you? I like this, Andrew. Me. I'm naive as fuck. Too many young people have a quick buck mindset. Yes. Absolutely. And it is, how can I make money now? And don't get me wrong, sometimes we need that. You know, everyone in life needs, like, I've got bills to pay. I need money now. But in the long game, this is where we're saying about maturity and things when starting a business. And people starting they need to realize that it's a long game thing. Yeah. It's not going to be a quick. Don't get me wrong, if you make a 100 grand overnight, congratulations. Like,
are you hiring?
Do your books. Like, and it's like Shan saying, there is enough room for us all to grow. Absolutely. Good morning, Jordan. Jordan Strong from Welcome to Sussex. If anyone that is watching or watches this in future and you are in the Sussex region, contact Welcome to Sussex and get on their website. Honestly, absolutely top notch.
I'm very far away, but hello.
Yeah, we're up north. Love.
I would just say hello.
We're in Yorkshire. So I work really hard with another company because we offer the same services but have different target customers. So we share them. Exactly. Completely. Paul Newton, good morning. Cara is an absolute legend. All right, Paul. Paul. Also, if anyone hasn't got Paul's new book, I know that's what you were just looking for. Paul's new book or Paul's book, you can get it on Amazon. So search Paul Newton. Yep, The Mental Theft. Honestly, I've heard this man talk about how he has done many things like robbing a bank and stuff. So honestly, like, I can say that, right? Paul, I can say that, right? Because I know you've done it as a foresight before, and I can say that. I'll say it's my show. Andrew, I can't be asked with the quick book mindset. If I can help people and I'm comfortable, I'm happy. That's yours, you know, but this is what we're saying. A lot of people sometimes go, shit, I need money now. So it's completely just look at it. Are you in it for the long game or are you in it for the short game? If you're in it for the short game, you're going to want a quick book. And I can probably guarantee that 9 times out of 10, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. No. Oh, God, good morning. We've got people still jumping on. Good morning, Lee Gleason. Good morning, David. This is great comfort. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Collaboration in business is critical. Facebook user, once again, I don't know who you are. So click the button at the top or below, allow StreamYard to get you to watch my videos, or just pop your name in the chat and I know it's you. Oh, you're very welcome, Paul. This is what this is for. And we're getting to the bottom of them. People are just adding more comments. I promise we're getting care first and the money will come. Exactly. And do you know what? Then one of our final probably-ish points. I did look at my diary and I was like, I ain't got a meeting, right? No, it's working with people and hiring services. You know, we both are a service that are essential to businesses. And a lot of people, when they first start out, which is fine, I did it when I first started out, hold my hands up, don't realize there's a lot of support they kind of need. And they go, nah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Nah, I'll be fine. I know about social media. I know about accounts. I've run a business before. I know what I'm doing. You know, I've wrote a book and sold it on Amazon before. Like, you know, it's you haven't. You really haven't. And that's not me saying that don't try, but, you know, try many things by yourself. If you're your own boss, you're going to. I've done it. Cara and Mama would have probably done it. And it's like, you know, I've helped you guys out. You've helped me out. You know, Mama would help me out at the beginning of the pandemic. So it's all about, like people are saying, that collaboration. Oh, my internet's going a bit. Ooh, there we go. So it's. I forgot my tangent then.
Collaboration.
Oh yeah, like services. So, what would you say to anyone that's possibly watching this that is hopefully, you know, if anything, a young entrepreneur, young business owner, that is thinking they can do it all by themselves?
You can't. Soz, but you can't.
Soz, mate.
Simple as. There is a lot of stuff you can do yourself, but I wouldn't. You know, the experts, another phrase I hate, soz.
Soz, mate.
Soz, mate. I don't get StreamYard, wherever that is. You know, these people, we are here to help. We are in the long run going to save you money. There are people that can help with social media, obviously business planning, coaching, everything that Callum helps me with. I don't even know anymore. I'm just like, I need help. Accounts, HR. Please do not try and do your own HR problems.
Oh no, Christ! Message Dan Caruso or Ruth Buckley. I will say their names right now, and anyone else, Ruth Buckley and Dan Caruso. Yes. Message them, right?
Please do not. But it's like, even you can. There are stuff you can try. You know, if you want to try doing your own social media for a month, if you want to try doing your own accounts, then you know, give it a go. I'm always happy to sit and chat with people and give them tips on how to do their own bookkeeping, because for the time being, business owners starting up probably can do it themselves, because in theory there's not a lot coming in and out. But do just know it is okay to ask for help if you are struggling. If you don't know what to do with a P&L and you don't know how to file your accounts, just speak to someone. Literally, if your face looks like that, which way are you?
Yeah, your left hand to me. There we go. Your left hand to me. No, other way. Point the other way. Yeah, there we go. So no, it's completely agree. And you know what? One of the biggest, pun intended, weapons in my arsenal, right? Because this person is a good form of a pain in my ass. Because even me being a coach, who's a foot up man, is Chanel, my PA. You know, and I've had PAs in the past, and a fabulous friend, Michelle Richardson, absolutely amazing PA, absolutely amazing. Local to me. I needed Michelle's very traditional, done it for many years, and a fabulous personal assistant. Absolutely fabulous. But then I met Shan, and Shan has done in the past what I am wanting to achieve. So it made sense to go with Shan. That doesn't mean I've got Michelle's one of my hottest contacts. You know what I mean? I'm like, if anyone needs her, like, I'm going, like, go to Michelle. Then I've got Shan. I'm like, go to Shan. Shan's the one that is actually representing, you know, my business page at the moment on this call. You know, do what an outsourced. I would not be as busy as I am right now without Shan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be at all. And sometimes all she does is ring me and goes, "What are you playing at? You've had that on your list for ages. Get it done." She's like, "Because I can't do my job until you've got that done." And I'm like, "Oh," because for me, I'm like, right, I've got client calls, I've got this, I've got that. And she's like, "Right, that's nice, but you need to do this." And that's why I've got her. She's the extra pair of hands that I never knew I needed. And it's something about, you need to look at an accountant. If you don't do social media, look at getting someone to do your social media. You don't do social media. You don't do it. Unless you are a social media marketer, you don't do it. And like we're saying, HR, do not attempt it.
No.
Now, if anything, out of everything, for me, that's like the most legality kind of place where just don't fuck up your HR people.
Like, I used to work in law firms, and I still will not touch it with a 10-foot barge pole.
But also, what we're saying right now proves the point of like being young business owners. Where you're like, look, I've worked in, and we're both going like, don't do HR. Look at this. Oh, what? You mean that someone that's 25 and 22 shouldn't know this stuff or doesn't know this stuff? This is exactly proving our point. We are literally saying, don't do these. Go and talk to these people. Look at these people. We're doing exactly what the reason this live was for. And it's like, do not judge someone by their age. You know, would I think someone that's 60, 50 years old is too out of my price, not price bracket, sorry, out of my age range? Oh, they're going to be a bit too old fashioned for me. Absolutely not. Look at Caroline Andrew Johnston.
Yeah.
Don't want to say her age, but she's lived
in
a bit. She's seen a few sons, right? And she is so mature and business headed at heart, but she's also so young and understands everything else at heart and knowledge wise is insane. Yeah. It's, and she says that we're like her networking kids. We are, to an extent, we are, because if we're a bit stuck, even if I'm looking for a connection or I'm struggling, she's been around the block a few times, right? And she's like, right, I think you need to talk to this person, that person, this person, and they can possibly help you. I'm like, great, perfect, top notch. Does that mean that I'm not going to listen to someone else that's possibly around the same age bracket? Absolutely not. But for me, it's they should start listening to us a bit. Definitely. So I think that's going to be the end of our rant. Can I just ask, if you want Cara to come on the show more often, people, drop it in the comments, because I've got a feeling it's probably going to be my most recycled guest on this show.
Yeah, recyclable.
Yeah, drop in your comments as well what you want. Yeah, recyclable. Yeah, it's drop in the comments what you want us to possibly talk about. Me and Cara will talk about anything. We're both very brutally honest, very, very straight talking. So if you put it in there and then you're offended by us talking about it, that's your problem, not ours.
I like the way you spun that. Then it's not us.
You asked us to talk about it. There we go. And Paul Newton's even saying yes, more to Cara. So, Cara, thank you so much for coming on. Everyone can find you on your brand spanking new website.
I know, it's so pretty. www.phoenixba.com.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And you can, when you contact them, you'll either get Cara or Mama Wood. So make sure you chat away. Mama Wood is a fabulous woman. Absolute fabulous woman. And she really helped me at the beginning of the pandemic when I didn't know what funding and whatever I could get. And she still can help you with all that now, and so can Cara. So make sure you ring them up and get that help from there. But Cara, don't go anywhere. I'm going to kick you backstage. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Oh, I need to press the button faster. There we go. Oh, Cara Wood, what a woman. Thank you so much, everyone, joining on. By the looks of it, we're quite a few people watching through this show, which really, really makes me happy. Remember to join my Facebook group, The Duck Pond, where you can actually get a lot of this help as well from our mentors. You can find us on YouTube, LinkedIn, my Facebook page, and in The Duck Pond as well. And I also do private videos in The Duck Pond too, so make sure you jump in there. So it's a little bit of exclusives that you don't see on here. So that's been me, Calvin K from Kwak Talks. You've been watching Kwak TV, because why watch Kwak TV when you can watch Kwak TV? And you can catch us tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. with the one and only Dan Holmes, the life insurance guy himself. So with no further ado, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you tomorrow.